And we are live from a frost-encrusted capital of the internet. Cambridge, and the snow is coming down yet again. We are truly becoming buried in ice, snow, slush, and heroism. Yes, I'm feeling like a hero. Today I'm lucky to have Gary Smith with me from Nova Scotia. He says we're sending our snow up, but that's not true. We're keeping it all for one large lump. Today, Gary, how do you feel today?
Much better. Much better. I'm tired of shoveling, though. Tired of shoveling.
Oh, get over it. It was Monday. My name is Dr. Jeffrey Lant, and this is a very special day for me, and I'm grateful that so many of you have turned out to help me celebrate it. When one celebrates a major piece of work that will resound across the world, one is right to take a moment and exult. Take that time to smell those roses, as they like to say. Today I'm going to read to you the way my work should be read. Some of it's funny, some of it's tragic, all of it's pertinent. And I'm going to read you from well along towards the bottom of chapter 11. I'm now working on my final chapter, chapter 12, and then this book will be released to the world, and I will have a day of acute sadness and acute joy. The authors will always have a foot in each camp. It's terribly moving when you kill your characters off. David McCullough, who wrote his marvelous analysis of the deathbed scene of John Adams, broke down and sobbed. Gibbon did the same thing when he completed the decline and fall of the Roman Empire. He went into the garden of a Swiss evening, and he fell on his knees and sobbed. Every author, good or bad, knows that terrible feeling. And we're also glad to have the monkey off of our back, which makes us certainly have a foot in each camp. I want to thank so many people along the way. I will be mentioning some of them. And I'm going to send a special offer spinning too. Everyone who orders a silver package during this next period of time, up until the top of the next hour, will get the best offer I've ever made, starting with 100 associates from my personal list, a free copy of my current 19-book, Net Profits, and everything Gary's going to deliver later. Now, friends, what we do is we help you get through the bad times and augment the good times. So many of you now from different countries are coming in here who have health issues, who have civil wars, who have economic panics, who have children being kidnapped and killed, people put in cages and burned. We are here to celebrate as much, to help you very practically. And in the background is the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, playing Gloria in Excelsis Deo. So I'm going to, bear with me, this is a historic moment. We're going to put this on the internet later on this afternoon. And people all over the world are invited to come and contact me. Come to World Profit at www.worldprofit.com. Come see what we can do for you. There isn't a person in this world who wants to stay home and work that we can't assist. Right, Gary?
That's so very true. We are certainly worldwide.
And now we need Oz from Israel. And we need all the 170 people looking in the window. We're talking to you. And again, I want to remind everyone we have two audiences, video audience, people who gather together in this space called the Live Business Center to help each other make money. There's not another institution like this in the world, nor I suspect will there ever be. Helping man is not exactly what man is best at. Tormenting either, Nobel Prize winning, beyond true. I'm going to read you now, and remember, this is from the end of chapter 11. It is 5:47 a.m., and I am playing Gloria in Excelsis Deo. Go now and listen for yourself. And I am playing J.S. Bach's Gloria in Excelsis Deo. All the lights in the blue room are on, and this special place is splashed with warmth, color, and joy. I must confess that part of this joy may be coming from the fact that today Max is leading the charge. He has been hard at work for days now. As someone who has presented many programs over the years, remember I have taught at over 30 colleges and universities. I have refined the process of research and presentation to a fairly well. In this spirit, I tell Max to take it easy. Just be yourself and you'll be fine. Remember to smile. I can tell Max wishes me and my glib recommendations to the very devil, since they distract him from his high and demanding endeavors. He is glowering at me, code yellow alert. At this point, but a few others, I can read his subtle mind only too well. Perhaps you, too, can guess his mood and disposition. But I am invisible. I turn the lights on and exactly 4 times. Ladies and gentlemen. Then I advise him to have a nice day, a saccharine phrase certain to chafe and irritate. Then, in the most jarring and cheerful manner possible, I start whistling, a thing I hardly ever do. It is the White Rabbit's signature tune from Disney's enchanting 1951 classic, Alice in Wonderland. I'm late. I'm late. For a very important date. No time to say goodbye. Hello, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. Another glower. Thus I leave him to the esoteric mysteries of his craft. Glad to get on with his work. Organized. No need. How he think. It's that White Rabbit's aria. He smiled. He loves me again. It is a secret to my happy longevity. It is 9:10 p.m., and in just 11 hours I experienced the thrill of my first ever epidural steroid injection, the procedure to be delivered by Aaron M. Levine, M.D. I saw him for time just a week ago. He made a good initial impression, good, direct, amiable, but no nonsense, just the way I like it. He details the drawbacks and stresses just how remote they are. There is a risk of spinal headaches. A dural puncture may occur. Other risks are remote, but include bleeding, infection, nerve injury, spinal cord injury, and allergic reactions to medications. Unintended nerve damage can occur, and so it goes till every eventuality has been stated and arranged. And if by chance your left brown eye turns gray, and your right brown eye turns green, Dr. Levine is wrapped in more layers of protective papyrus than King Tut. Don't worry, he intones, but for the first time I do. Note de bueno. Since this procedure was scheduled, I find I have become garrulous on the subject. I plead perfect in the art of stern elevator silence and detachment. Now find myself, and with horror of mine, opening conversations with my astonished neighbors, which were before, I think I may say, I out-silenced Silence Cal himself. I tell you I'm flabbergasted, even aghast, at this development, which could so easily lead to the most serious repercussions. Hi, Doc. Are you busy now? Can I come over and hang out? It's the beginning of what is sure to become a train of rampant importunities and unceasing wheedling. My cold, cool hauteur, the fruit of decades, not just years, dissolves as I blurt out such private facts about falling in my bedroom on the adamant oak floors I insist upon keeping perfectly polished. Then, because I am always thorough in my work, I fall in again on the same richly repolished place, thereby enabling me to experience the full panoply of wincing. Oh yes, I am thorough, none more so. I find I want to tell, must tell, just what I am doing, just what I am going through, keen to rein the most precise details of people I have until now made a fine science of ignoring. What can it mean, and how long will it continue? For I am now in danger of becoming that most tiresome of creatures, the master of palaver, unrepentant verbosity, and unremitting boredom. Yes, I must discern the cause of this most untoward, most unwanted of developments. However, in the meantime, I think of a tune composed by James Weldon Johnson, 1871-1939, first recorded in 1928 by the famous Myers Jubilee Singers. It's Ezekiel prophesied to the dry bones. I first heard it in one of my many renditions over 60 years ago, when I didn't need a physician's needle to tap my toes or clap my hands. Hallelujah. It goes like this. Ezekiel connected them dry bones, Ezekiel connected them dry bones, Ezekiel in the valley of dry bones, now hear the word of the Lord. And then the snappy lyrics that smart teachers have turned into anatomy lesson for kids who like to shout and wiggle. Toe bone connected to the foot bone connected to the heel bone, ankle bone connected to the shin bone connected to the knee bone, them bones, Walk there, all them bones, walk and walk. The bones and bones, now hear the word of the Lord. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Download this peppy number with its capacity for resurrection and shout its words like you were an 8 or 9 and poised for any mischief. You've been good and beautiful long enough. Rise up, I say, from the valley strewn with ancient corpses. It's long past time to dazzle your jailers and cut loose, child. Now hear the word of the Lord. It's 4:07 p.m. Ordinary don't write at this time, but today is a red letter exception. And as I write, I want to dance, if only in my mind. I've selected I'm Young and Healthy, sung by Dick Powell in one of the greatest films ever, 42nd Street, 1933. Its lyrics are pure corn, but oh my gosh, they are effective for all that. Gee whiz, and attaboy. I'm young and healthy, and you've got charms. It would really be a sin not to, my house. So what am I so cheerful about? Simply this. Though the epidural procedure was only finished about 6 hours ago, I already feel appreciative. Experts will tell me it's at least 2 days too early to make even a plausible introductory assessment. Nonetheless, I do feel rather better, and that's enough to make me want to dance, dance, dance all night with a bow to my fair lady. I'm young and healthy, and so are you. When the moon is in the sky, tell me, what am I to do? Do? I'll tell you what to do. Play the theme song of every epidural store provider on earth. I've got you under my skin. Written by my idol, Cole Porter. It was memorably sung in Titans like Virginia Bruce, who introduced it in the 1936 film Born to Dance. Sinatra, Peggy Lee, and La Josephine Baker, 1906-1975. The phenomenon who brought the daring of a Charleston to the city of light. Never so bright as when she was present. Josephine, who from the city she loved, Paris, ruled an empire of l'amour, excess, l'amour, longing, l'amour, ostentation, l'amour, incitement, l'amour, exaltation, l'amour, misery, l'amour, and the guts to do it her own outrageous way. Let there be no mistake, je t'adore, la Josephine, and her every sinuous gesture. Promising everything, delivering even more. Just having her run her electric through my hair was the most erotic thing that ever happened, and even memory packs more wallop than 100 nights with someone's merely loved. I tried so hard not to give in. I said to myself, never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when they know so well? I've got you under my skin. Oh, mon Josephine. It is 9:17 p.m. and my space capsule brilliantly lit as a beacon of common sense and humanity. Outside, the weather is not merely inclement but punishing. Still, I ventured out. I had to know whether that tapering rod on metal insinuated into my tender flesh did the trick. That is, could I walk better than before? I was impatient to find out, damn the winter weather and its myriad of inconveniences. I needed to turn my excitement and hope into an incontrovertible fact and be comforted by truth. I had waited, I had been patient, I had followed instructions. Now I wanted to trip the light fantastic, and I did. Aisle by food stock aisle. Thus did the Star Market on Beacon Street in Somerville become one of the signature locations of my life, along with the throne room of Buckingham Palace, where I lingered in revelry before the great Victorian picture by Winterhalter, before being presented for Magic the Queen. London's Guildhall, or Margaret Baroness Thatcher. It kissed me, not just once either. In the cool, deep recesses of the Downers Grove, Illinois Public Library, where aged 10 or 12, kindly librarians, seeing in me a kindred spirit, made my mind soar, exhilarating fuel of great poets reading their work for me. These places are important, but some are more important than others. The Blue Room is such a place, the result of endless, painstaking, meticulous effort down to the finest point. I scan this lavish mise-en-scène as I have thousands of times before, the whole carefully fashioned to provide just the right balance, verging on being wildly out of control, though not just yet. It's time for a tale. In the high heat of last summer, my friend Lant brought his charming children, Joshua then 20, Rochelle then 16, to see me, my glare, and a good max. Lance and I were concerned about how the kiddos would respond to a place where "do not touch" was emblazoned on everything. Comfort, as per Louis XIV at Versailles, unhesitating medicine, or maximum effect. So the chimney smoke, his most Christian majesty, none of it, so long as the line is perfect, and the look très magnifique. Thus was gorgeous in-your-face Versailles, perpetually smoking, while courtiers kept perfume handkerchiefs at their fastidious noses, their rate of lung cancer astronomical. What matter? The crisp, elegant line was perfect, just as a Sun King deserves. Amidst so much splendor, the two scions of the great republic, the peanut butter and jelly and text messaging, had well have been rested, bored by so much about which they knew so little. They certainly fooled us here. Looking at the great life-size portrait of Field Marshal von Moltke, Joshua casually said, "Is that Moltke who had an army in 1914 and had never spread down?" Now I am not, I confess, often surprised, but I was surprised just then, as was his, I admit it, astonished father, denizen of the Pentagon, his impressed sister, who in the best traditions of sisterdom thought calling her hulking bro a moron was sufficient praise for the beast. Sure, this was not of the nervous breakdown von Moltke, as larger than life, the conqueror of Little Denmark, the organized hapless Austria, and the Third French Empire, so very chic, prepared for anything but the blood iron of the emerald right. So we were right to be impressed at this erudition, so unexpected and perfectly delivered for maximum effect. Then it was Joshua's turn to be surprised. The first item he saw in the blue was an electrical cover. Just this, made of solid gold, as was seen, or silk covers, such covers. More gold than most of the miners, 49ers, ever saw from all their continental travails and futile exertions. For the rest of his visit, Joshua made a point of returning to the blue room and its solid gold outlets again and again. Look, tap smartly, gold. And so my stock went up. It is 4:32 a.m., and it's snowing heavily. Nothing odd about that. It's February's winter, after all. No, this isn't the oddment. That would be the fact that Chad and Jeremy's 1963 hit Yesterday's Gone plastered itself on my computer screen, along with a series of idyllic summer pictures, each more vibrant and beckoning than anything British master John Constable ever painted. I loved you all the summer through. I thought I'd found my dream in you. That was yesterday, and yesterday's gone. Then came a thin whisper of sunny laughter. I recognized that happy voice at once. No mistaking it. Max, sitting on the windowsill in the master's bedroom, scrutinizing the fury of flurries outside. Toes enveloped in the bluest of blankets. Then an idea flashed in my brain. He wasn't thinking, as so often he had thought, of Vienna, of Schönbrunn, of the long, profitless years of exile. That was all still present, of course, but now he was telling me a few two songs about the past, the other being in a summer song, that he was firmly. At that, I joined my froggy voice to his off-key genius, and the snowy world was wreathed in smiles. We walked together hand in hand across miles and miles of golden sand. Such serendipitous moments are the most joyful of all. Wait till summer comes again. It is 3:08 a.m., and I am entombed in ice that abides and wishful thinking about escape to sunnier climes. As usual, nature's testing me. I have in my hand an oversized portfolio in which reside 8 tapes, proof positive of where I was in this fall 1982, what I achieved. These are the tapes of the radio shows I did in Los Angeles, radio shows arranged by Dr. Lant's publicist, Sir Shirley Phelps, a.k.a. P.O.M. Suddenly I am awash in the most compelling of memories. I am 32, firm of flesh and unwavering of purpose. I had resolved to do to my total sense of the world needed to know me better. And having resolved, so I did. I didn't tarry whatever the attraction. No man decided Quo Vadis. I decided for myself. hired my mother was there a flax and donated to her clients on sitting benefit. Considered just one of those memorable days, October 10th, 1982. I started off by taping a memorable, in all the wrong ways, program hosted by Bert Richardson. As I recall, I was one of those soft classical statements, always hanging on just by a prayer and chewing gum. Such stations always had an eminence at the helm, a resounding voice that charmed all and kept the illusion alive. POM booked KJOY Radio officially because it was run by Kriebel. But the real reason was that she had conceived an interest, if not a crush, on the greatly voiced Bert Richardson. Whether because we were running late that day or because she was impatient to meet the man who harbored such a voice, such a presence, she put serious pedal to the metal. When my mother wanted something, and she always wanted something, she was nothing less than a force of nature, and today she had a clear objective as the lion hunter she was. In a moment he came out to greet us, tall, rather stout, friendly, and black. I am trying quite hard now not to smile too much, but it is difficult. We were always scoring points off each other, having so much DNA in common, we were expert at confounding each other. It was a game of love and high and scrupulous hilarity. She was always a worthy opponent, someone worth beating, and I used my considerable wiles to win. But our adventure with Richardson had only just begun. Without to lose, I was ensconced in my favorite place, before the microphone that I was born to grace. You'd like me better, I dare say, if I told you how hard I worked to create a winning, that is, money-making persona. But the truth is, I took to the medium like the proverbial duck to water. I was good, great even, right from the start, thereby in demand. I could talk about anything, including frequently things I knew nothing about. Smoothness and no strong suits. The reason I did so much media, especially in 1982, is because I had pioneered a brand new way to make oodles of money fast. How? By giving good media and making sure my phone number was given out over and over again, before, during, and after my appearance, thereby selling my books, a new one every year, direct to the customer listeners, slicing out the man bookstores and pocketing at least $35 per sale. I have always believed I was the first person on earth to do this. Cleverness confirmed by the money that rolled in. I knew the only fear was fear itself. Only breaking a sweat when I ran to a plane, which I happily did over and over again. Money always following a line like this. Tonight we are with our special guest. It never ever got old. Of course there were bumps on the golden yellow brick road where guests gave up their home phone numbers on air to be called by customers wanting to buy again. Someday you'll open the door and poof. I was too busy to work. And besides, every Harvard grad's invulnerable, right? Right? It was like my impish friend James, now Sir James Cladd, said when he glided along the Mekong Delta, Charlie on one side, lobbing death to the Yanks on the other, who with gusto returned the desolate fate. Cladd knew he couldn't, much less croak. He was, after a loyal subject of the Queen of New Zealand, and hence invoked. It is 1:41 a.m. and there is only one subject, just one word on the nation's agenda. Snow is the word. Snow is the problem. Its removal the universal objective. Whole cities have disappeared along with our good humor. Parking places go for a princely ransom, with stories about snow Samaritans almost impossible to find. One number keeps reappearing, like some incantory malediction. 40 inches being the seemingly immutable residue. What's more is on the way, or at least that's what our smart bums in the weather department say. They live for chaos and can never get enough of it. Tiny flakes and bombastic numbers turn them into commentators and soothsayers, and substantial retainers, the respective millions uneducated and usually oblivious. Black man and white ladyship. There was a notable frisson in the air, not least because we arrived late. We were all behind and ready with hurrier you go, the behinder you get. Anyway, I was soon, before the microphone, my focus entirely on delivering a splendid program with lots of $50 on the other side. About 20 minutes ago, Richardson groaned and jumped up to check tape. But you see, there wasn't any tape machine we'd been taping. We'd been taping air and nothing else. He fell over himself, apologizing, and he should have. It was a bonehead mistake. I could tell that the double baroness was on the verge of a notable and terrible statement. I intervened. Told Richardson I was up to try and back POM up notify the next gig we'd be late, and jet charge. I get very cold in a crisis. And this morning, just while shaking his hand in farewell, I sent him my standard letter anyway, time for a repeat performance, and never got one. As for her ladyship, I undoubtedly reminded her of the old adage, beware of what you ask for, you may get it. In certain researching this vignette, I came across detailed information on Nancy Cunard's 1931 success to Scandal. Black man and white ladyship. Nancy's affair with black musician Henry Crowder made some uneasy, not least her mother, London's hostess, Lady Cunard. But it wasn't until she took the adamant rule and made her passion in politics public that she became intolerable, to say, N-O-K-D, not our kind marriage. Never mind that her surname graced the most ships on earth. I'm listening to By the Waters of Minnetonka, and Poet Crowder, reported in 1927 by Eddie South and his companions. The tune is good enough to have lured your grandmother's heart, Nelson Eddy. But, no, when it was in my brain, it was sophisticated, it was crowded. Lady Card should have been grateful to have such a talent in the family. Having that, to open this section, play the quirky and sentimental tune by Hans Zimmer, Riding Miss Daisy, from 1960. We're away from K-Joy to one of the grandest Rotary Club locations, the one that meets in the Beverly Hills Hotel, or at least did way back when. It was Hollywood opulence, with hundreds of the well-heeled, dressed in candid imitation of their hero, Reagan. Expensive sports clothes, expensive bling, expensive tans splashed with expensive cologne. The total effect rather silly, but a bit sad, though I am far too regret to say so. You're probably wondering how I handle getting around transportation arrangements in Los Angeles or anywhere else. Easy. The most effective, my unwavering ass was to car, but a chauffeur. When I was on the road, this desire was fulfilled by the designated representative, educational or organizational sponsoring, or other organizations sponsoring my presentation. I missed the most young people on earth this way. The finest driver of all, until Amy Joseph came along, was the WWB, because she was as even and obsessive as I was. She was at once chauffeur, coach, goad, blunt purveyor of honest observations, telling people about me, don't encourage him or he'll get. It could have been irritating, even infuriating, but she was all there for me, giving me special treatment my siblings never got, a fact which must herewith be buried forever. Thus we assumed roles as we sped to Beverly Hills, where I planned on giving a barn burner of a speech and declaring for, I give you the next President of the United States, a possibility that flickered in my brain as I compared myself and my chances to others. Remember, I had grown up in an intensely political environment and had those 2 Harvard degrees, and hair was lusher than any Kennedy's. If only Papa Joe Kennedy had been my daddy with all those bootleg assets at my instant disposal. If PMO needed a map reader, that was my role. Otherwise, she understood I was to be left alone in as calm an atmosphere as possible. She told me everything she knew about where we were going and the people I'd be. Then she'd leave me to get my notes and my thoughts together. This was crucial to my success because I never spoke from a prepared text, but 3x5 index cards. Just like Ronald Reagan, who had one evening in San Fernando Valley shared this technique with me. I was 16, and nobody but Nancy Reagan thought then he could be president. I recommend this method to you. It is called the speech. The gentlemen were angry. In those 20 mule team barracks days of old, communications were primitive. There were no cell phones, for instance, so we could talk about progress. We in there had to do the best we could, with both parties fretting and irritated. Then at last we arrived, and I, never more innocent, was subjected to the look from all and sundry. It was my job to change those inhospitable glances and turn them into lavish smiles. They may have doubted my ability to do that. I never did. Thus I resolved to dive into my subject without any of the usual fol-de-rol. No hidey-hos, glad to be here, thanks for having me, and all the rest. Instead, we love America, we say. We love our freedoms, we say. We love our privileged existence of life and the pursuit of happiness, we say. Yet we go to any school from sea to shining sea and find nothing that can just sustain a critical economic system. Pieces for everything we have, everything we need, everything else. That which has defined us, that which sustains us, is hardly a whisper in them. Rather, we give unstating attention to making sure boys keep their trousers properly hoisted. What difference does that make when our whole civilization is assaulted by such unanswerable fact, such cogent assertions, gentlemen, so unfriendly and censorious as a moment ago, now find themselves listening, enthusiasm rising. They know red meat, and my message is the reddest. Then over there in the corner, one of the gentlemen jumps up and starts cheering. An American boy with long overdue American message has ignited an American countryman who wants his agreement noted. Then the popcorn effect begins, and concurring gentlemen around the splendid ballroom are up on their often unsteady feet. It is pandemonium. It is wild. It is cathartic. How I wish my friend Frank Upper had been alive to see it. It would be Dr. Lant goes to Washington. Double Baroness of because soon she turned to the once doubting gentleman and stung. I told you so from gullah gesture, at which she joined the madcap dancing crowd. You really got me, first recorded by the King in '63. This time they were singing to me, to what I said, to how I said it, to the fact that I had come to warn them, to enlighten them and to save them. The great republic and its threatened children, the most important people of all. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Mon Dieu, if I have any say in where I'll be sitting out at night, give me the Whirling Club in Beverly Hills that day in 1982, when we were all young, firm of flesh and purpose, and we danced and cheered. See, don't ever set me free. I always wanted to live by your side. As for the rest, here's my card. Have message, will travel. Wire Lant, Cambridge. A votre service. KABC. Get up, honey. They want you right now. She had to be tired. I was catatonic. But there was a glint in her voice. The holy grail of Los Angeles media. So often sought, so desired, so remote and untouchable until then. Now on the phone demanding her client's immediate presence. This was not a request. This was not a plea. It was an order from on high. Get up, darling. We are going on KABC. And she was right, and entitled to say we, because she had called and called. She was not part of the métier. And then she wheedled some more. For she was a force of nature, my force of nature, indefatigable. She defined that word for me. Rising above fatigue, above exhaustion, above anything that obstacled her objective. And now they had come to her, for me. And nothing, absolutely nothing, was going to stand in the way. Did you hear me? Absolutely nothing. All through the night. I had a long day. She had a longer one, yet without cavil or complaint. We were instantly on our way to the Holy of Holies, where so many of the world's media were housed in glassy splendor and dreams. Where people unknown yesterday became household words on the cover of U.S. magazine today. This was where she wanted me. This is where I was determined to be. The producer of the Tom Hall show had called, but she had called without any enthusiasm whatsoever. Her guest had canceled. She needed a guest. She needed that guest at once, so desperate that she was willing to take that sure-to-kill ratings Harvard intellectual. She and Tom were desperate, indeed. And Dick Bass, see? They were desperate, all right, and felt justified in insulting the guests they didn't want but had to take at the otherwise guestless midnight hour. The stressed producer met us in the lobby. She was fretful, her every sinew trembled. She needed her guest, and she needed him now. No welcomes, no handshakes, just orders. They popped a commercial, which gave me 1 minute to reclaim myself, semper paratus, and come out shooting. And then not the infernal dweeb they expected. From the moment I said money, everything changed. Dead phone lines, turning the studio into a red light district and transforming doubting Tom into my fast friend for life. The producer hugged POM and uttered the memorial words. He looked at Clark Kent, but when he opens his mouth, he's Superman. And that's why we should play John Williams' magnificent 1978 Superman score here. It is for every mouse that has ever roared, and the particular mouse that roared at KBC this entirely memorable night. Can you please stay another hour, and another after that? Lives changed in that early morning hour at KABC. POM got hugs and congratulations for persisting. Tom and producer got a guest who could play the game with the notable finesse they did. And I got Nuestra Senora de la Reina de Los Angeles on a silver platter, suitable for a grandee of Spain. And then there was the money, for no story of the City of Angels could be complete without it. But first, play again, John Williams' magnificent paean of joy and incomparable spirits. And again, because what he's telling you is that you, like me, can soar, can win, can make the world a better place. Yes, you, right now. POM was asleep in the green room. The good and trusty servant had earned her rest. The evening and the several hours that followed with the greatest possible triumph, not least because every 15 minutes until 4 a.m. I gave out POM's phone and my Cambridge address. Orders for my books poured in, and we ran the credit card orders for days. I no longer recall the exact number, but if you asked $10,000 or even $50,000 or so, you'd be in spitting distance. Whatever the number, it was ample indeed. But the biggest benefit of all was the producer's now wide-open door. When you're in Los Angeles, you come see us first. And I did. Often. As for POM, she accompanied me every time. She accompanies me still. Thus endeth chapter 11. Any thoughts?
It certainly strikes home with technology advances that be made over the years.
You know, I sit here at World Prophet every day in a place of, and I pity the people that come in here and advantage of them. It is so sad because they are being left behind. And just one little innovation, giving a number on the radio. Never been done before. Never. Made me a lot great quickly. That's the way to do it. I'm here. I'm going to invite some comments on the screen here. Now we welcome any comments that people want to make. I'm going to put the music on for you. I want to draw some conclusions from this. One does not set out to write a best-selling book. One sets out to write the best possible book that's in you, particularly memoirs. And I'm playing the music from John Williams' Superman Suite. People often say to me, it's easy for you, you went to Harvard, you wrote books. These things didn't just happen, Gary. They were the result of a great deal of work. There's only one place where the word work, success precedes work, and that's the dictionary. And I say this to all the people who listen today, as you sit up there in your perch, you're killing yourself. You live in a zone where the economy is weak. We pay in U.S. dollars. You live in a zone where there are killers, marauders, where people burn each other in cages, barbaric. We can get you out of there, if that's what you want to do, or we can help you out, help you protect yourselves, get your children out of the way. In other words, we are here to help people all over this world. People say to me, well, you can only help a tiny fraction. And let me give you my response to that. You may not think that's enough, but I tell you the tiny fraction we save are glad of it. And so, when you're sitting at home today, and you're all by yourself, and you have no friends, there's no technical advisors, we have it all. We have absolutely everything. And I want everyone on this program to write down one thing that we have, which we give freely, lavishly, to people all over the world. I'll tell you one thing that they give. I'll start with, you get me.
Rapping. Learn how to get rapping.
I want everyone to post something. Now, I'm expecting toll. I want to know everything we give to these people. I want to know so that Eric will join us, so that Pascal will join us, so that all the people will join us. We have what you need. Don't be so foolish as to gamble with all your prosperity, your safety, your family. Well, Mr. Smith, if this book is the clarion call, I think I've written a book that will resound down the ages. Do you think?
Yeah. It's been a pleasure watching it grow, that's for sure.
It's been my opportunity to thank so many people that have been responsible for me. And let's read some of the comments that are coming up on the screen. Patricia Porter, one of our great fans that we love so much, say, your reading takes me right there into the studio. Exactly what it's supposed to do. Mark Blunt says, we live history through your eyes. And he says, we give you everything that you will need to learn how to make money in the business or any other business you are trying to promote on the internet. True. Lisa Martinek, who's been so helpful with this volume, says, to be a part of seeing these memoirs come to life. It happens, an experiment will remain with me forever. I say it's not experiment, but experience. Anybody else? Come along. Gary, what I want to do now is read the offer on the table so that people listening at home later on YouTube have it. And I want us all agree on something. People come in here and are difficult. I'm not going to waste it when we have so many people who are charming, hideous, right, looking for people who come in here and mouth off. You can imagine that Noah, often at days like this, when there's people in the ark with his end, we're not. Some of the people in the comments he must have got. I sometimes get those comments myself. You cannot help those who will not help themselves, but we will help everyone else. And then I want you to read the offer to the people.
That is so very true. I mean, all you can do is put the offer out there, and those that have half a clue are going to take advantage of it.
Our sales are astronomical all over the world. You know, the only places where we have is the States, and you know why? Our countries are spoiled. We don't have to work hard anymore. We have to cut out of the land. That's not possible in the Cameroon. It's not possible when you're in Myanmar. It's not possible when you're in the steppes of Russia. You don't have the luxuries that we have. We have our luxuries. One of the stern voice of Reverend John Calvin? Well, probably I am. Gary, read us the offer so people get a sense of what we're offering them today, and I'm going to sweeten pot.
Okay. Say you've finished our silver membership presentation video. Great. Then you already know the awesome offer we got if you order in the next 10 minutes. Get that $1,500 bonus offer made in the video. Plus, you can e-blast any website or offer to 90,000 of our subscribers every single month. Over 500 landing pages, over 1,500 real traffic sources. Also, our monitors will start closing the sales for you today without ever charging you anything. Finally, your commission earnings are anywhere from 20 to 100%, but there's still more. This is absolutely spectacular. Now you can have your very own 50,000 product Amazon store on your website worth $397. You'll be one of the first, the very first anywhere in the world, this incredible feature. Moreover, we will train you in detail how to squeeze the most money from this store. Now this comes with our highest recommendation, and quick Frank, you'd be crazy not to grab it. Click on the right red box and order now. Your Amazon store is included. Bonus also includes 50 associate members immediately. Still more, if you upgrade to your silver membership now, you get 500 landing pages, over 1,500 real traffic sources, sales closing 24 hours a day, over 100 training lessons, 50 members under you now, e-blast to 90,000 per month, 100,000 ad credit month, 3 Facebook marketing courses on how to generate thousands of leads using Facebook marketing. Remember, you can use these resources to generate leads and traffic for any business. Upgrade to your silver membership now. You can be on your way to earning consistent income now. Your package includes traffic, leads, trusted advertising sources, a comprehensive online training program, plus sales closing assistance 24 hours a day. Now, no other company offers you this. World Profits ironclad backing based on our 20 years in business. Upgrade to silver membership now to receive the bonus offer with all the privileges and exclusive freebies.
I want to add to the pie here. First of all, I'm talking to Delilah and Julie and Eric and Muriel and all the people that are in the rafters looking at us. We have in our power the possibility of raising you up that you do not and cannot do by yourself. If you believe that you can do all that we can do for you by yourself, then go thither and do it. But if you believe that you require help, then grasp it with our 2 arms, because you're going to need all the help you can get, and we'll have everything that you need. Today, now, I'm going to give one person a spectacular gift. 150 associates for one person, not 50, but 150. I'm going to take the one of you who's the most focused, the most honorable, most hardworking, and the most clear-sighted. And I'm going to give you a jet propelled to start. One person will get everything that Gary promised, plus 150 associates, plus a copy of my book, Net Profits. You're sitting there, we'll give you nothing. You're responding, we'll give you everything. So Gary, one person who gets clicked right now, and I'm going to give them 7 minutes, which will take it into the next monitor. But you're going to get 150 associates, one person. One. The next person will give 100 to you. First one, it's 150 associates, it's 100. In other words, we're going to kiss 50 people goodbye who would otherwise have been yours. Gary, as I've had the occasion to write this book, I've been up at all hours of the night. It was a year now working on this, and it's put together incredibly well. I want to remind folks that for those monitors who were some great assistants to me, and some of them are here, Mark Wallen, and Patrice, and you, Gary, and Lisa, over there from Alberta Way, Lisa McNuck. You're all going to be featured in this book in a special appendix in which you get to say, you will get to be a commentator. You can say whatever you want about me in the book, your experience, your knowledge, what you've learned. Make it personal, make it clever if you can, make it funny, make it sad, make it so that it goes right to the heart of the people. When the book is finished, which will be shortly now, I will give you a more detailed memorandum, but just be thinking, because you folks have an edit, and of course your URLs will be mentioned in the article, in the individual commentaries as well. Did you, Gary? I think that must have.
Yes.
Now it's time.
I was aware of that.
Now, I want to say what right now some students have heard. I'm giving the honor to the people who earned it. And they got up early, helped me out, looked up things, argued with me about words, meanings, paragraphs, this, that, and the other thing. No writer in the history of writing has ever had someone supporting him, and I am considerably grateful for the time and attention that these writers team members have given me. Now, Julie, please respond. Eric, would you respond? And would you respond? Right, we can help you. Here, please, for a little recognition, and you come down.
Okay, no problem. Okay, Jim, all you have to do is click on that bright red order now form.
Okay, Jim, real simple. Gary just gave you information. You've got 7. Click on the bright red order form. Option number 1, the monthly option. You're in like Flynn in 3 or 4 minutes, and we start you on your trek to success immediately. And you will get this offer of the day that I will make. Well, please, you've been an observer of the process since I put the first word on the first page.
That was
your thoughts?
A wonderful read today. I totally enjoy listening to you read, and that, be able to listen to the author of the memoirs reading his memoirs makes it very, very extra special, because you put the tone and everything in and bring it all to life again, so that we actually can live your life, get glimpses of your life anyways from your reading there in the book. And I'm so looking forward to having it completed.
Well, did you feel yourself speeding down Hollywood Boulevard?
Yeah. Well, it brings to life your mom too, with how much she part she played in your life, a very, very big part. And I wish I would have had the opportunity to have met her, but I am meeting her now in your writings, and thank you for that. And if anybody wants to catch the replay of this program, it will be up on the YouTube channel Patrice Porter, and up on our World Profit Tube at www.worldprofittube.com. And check out my home business center at www.20waystoprofit.com, and my business helping people create abundance by gardening using the tools and resources from World Profit here at www.gardeningforfoodsecurity.com. And congratulations, Dr. Lant, on the completion of the 11th chapter, and on to the last.
More to go.
Yes, excellent. Bye for now.
That's Patrice from Royal Forest in Saskatchewan, one of our very active people. She is responsible for this Anything Goes program, keeping me firmly and quiet. Gary, what are your final
thoughts are that it is exciting to have the author read his own memoirs. Different.
Very different. I believe I'm the only person in the world who has pioneered this ability to write on the screen live. You see exactly when I make a mistake or when I change a sentence or when I rearrange a paragraph. You see it. It's a miniature writing course, among many other things. And Jim, we want to bring in our folks now and get them started on the road to success. Jim, are you placing in order? Now, typically, one could still get the 150 leads because Jim's order isn't in yet. So if you like to live dangerously and you want to make a stab at 150, then go to the red box and click on the red box and see order now. You want option 1, the monthly option. And you want to place that order fast.
50 people in your deadline to get you started.
And we are welcoming Tiffany Morgan and Julie Betteridge. Now, folks, if Jim, you not on he's on the order form, well, we'll see what that means. And we have Anne from Estonia. Anne, and I think you understand, Estonia is a very small, very country, and we can augment your income and your betterment of your lifestyle in U.S. dollars. That ought to be ringing the bell. You know, the dollar has had its vicissitudes, like all currencies. They go up, they go down. J. Morgan when he was the richest man in America, was once asked what would happen to the stock market. He said, it will vary. And that is true of the currency markets too. It varies hour by hour every day. But we are in a position now with the dollar so strong against so many weak currencies, including the Canadian dollar, which is flattened at the moment, to put extra money in your pocket. You got any aversion to that, Gary? You got any aversion to us putting extra money in your pocket?
No, it goes a lot further than it did a couple of months ago, because so much stronger than the Canadian right now.
You know, like everything else in the world, it's a commodity. It changes. Now it's time to lock in your position with us. And as usual, being that I am an old fella now, or soon to be next week, or should be 68, we're going to have a big party here on February 16th. We'll be celebrating George Kosh's birthday, which is the 14th. Daniel Fisher, our favorite monkey, will have his birthday on the 14th. Mine is the 16th. Anybody else who might be wrong, we're going to have a to-do the 16th. We'll have a special off, have some fun. We'll get to meet the monitors and hear what they have to say candidly about my regime. Yeah, hopefully somebody will have a slice of cake. Do, by the way, they buy diabetic Dan. I love those frosted roses. Make a fat will. All right, we're not waiting for see Mark was all.
Yep.
He wanted to go ahead with everything. So we're going to bring this to a halt. We'll be back tomorrow. What Eastern time is? And my last thought today is that the seeds out there. Every library says the pinch that in Social Security. Might say, well, use it to buy things from it, which is probably what say that they'll take away. So if I was trying to live on Social Security, I couldn't do it.
Oh.
For those of you that are trying to live on Social Security and you're scared and you have limited resources, would you please have the sense to come down and talk to us? We don't force you to do anything, but we do present you with the facts from which you can make an intelligent decision. And the worst possible thing about getting old is if you're ill and you don't have any money and your friends have evaporated, your children are gone off, that is the definition of hell. So if you're a senior citizen, I beg you, come down and listen to Gary and I. We're both gentlemen of a certain age ourselves, and we can give you some very good advice. Gary, think about senior citizens because they often come in here and they're whining and they're complaining and they don't have any friends and they can't do anything. I want senior citizens with an open mind who want more money and want minimal risk. There's always a risk in everything, but this is a minimal risk that there could possibly be. comment from you?
Well, it certainly keeps me active, and it's an activity that keeps my mind, I was going to say sharp, but I'll say reasonably sharp, because I'm learning new things all the time. It keeps me occupied, and I make money at the same time.
When you come into World Profit, you get people who understand money and who are providing you new ways of getting it every single day. But if you don't actualize the applications, the knowledge, the step-by-step details, then you're a fool. Mark Twain said, there's no difference between a man who could read but does not, and a man who cannot read. He who does not read is no better than he who cannot read. So when you sit at home and you say you want to help them, you don't know the terrible yourself in and cannot make money that way, and that is dedicated to improving your lifestyle. I'm down for some moment, but I'm going to come back because I want to bring these people in. And Gary, do you stay with us for the next hour?
I do.
Patrice, you can cut the umbilical cord. We're in the bag. We've got another fine program. And now I want to tell you a little thing that went through my head this morning for the first time. I was thinking of being on KABC. Do you know if I was if the World Profit had existed in those days, I would have sent them to worldprofit.com. There would have been an order form right there. We could have cleaned up. Instead, we had to. This is a clear indication of that I'm a historic artifact. You had to get a phone. First of all, I had to circumvent my parents, which was not particularly easy. They were both absolutely incandescent. What? You put our phone? Yes, well, we also made a lot of money. And they were not happy. Partly they were not happy because of the privacy issue. Partly they were not happy because of the poof, you'd be blown away. But we then had to get people had to call up from wherever they were in the San Fernando Valley or whatever. In these days, they would have gone right to a landing page. We probably would have sold more even because in those days we were experimenting with mass markets. Remember when CBS and NBC were created, that was it. There was a national relations or whatever. That was it. There was a handful, 6 people, 10 people controlled all the media in the United States. We think about that. Yep. Now we control destiny. But to be able to control our destiny and not use it is foolish. Foolish. True, false, final comment. I'm going to sit up here for a minute. I see our president, Sandy Hunter. And I remind everyone that my mother and Sandy were thick as thieves. They liked each other enormously. Of course, they liked George enormously too. But my mother and Sandy had some momentous talks, so she'll have to quote in her own biography. And we're waiting for Julie.
Julie Betteridge.